pumped up or what? Hey guys, good to see you again. Land Geek community, if you've been thinking about getting started in land investing, but you haven't pulled the trigger yet, this episode is for you. Tonight, we're breaking down strategy, how to get started, but also how to avoid mistakes that stop people from getting started and making money and building the time freedom that they came here for. These are mistakes we're going to try to avoid. They're early decisions that feel small but have big consequences. So avoid just one of these mistakes and you're going to move faster. Ignore the mistakes and you're going to stall. So let's get into it. First of all, intros. My name is Scott Bossman. I've been a land investor for over a decade. Joined here tonight by, as always, Mike, the Zen Master, Zano. Breathe in the mailing. Breathe out the marketing. How's it going tonight, buddy?
It's going great. I'm happy to be here. Thank you all for having me.
What do you got, a Pinot Noir?
Classy.
Yeah.
That is very classy for Mike.
Cannons, Mike.
Very, very good. I don't know what to do when they do that at restaurants. I'm just so in left field. They gotta pretend. I'm like, yeah, take it back. Take it back.
On my lower right, we have John Burnett, handsome Rob, 8 is enough Burnett. John, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I got my Spindrift. Not nearly as classy as Mike, but I'm working on it. I mean, it's a little classy. It's real fruit juice.
It's real frigid? Is that what
it's real fruit juice. So.
Oh, real fruit juice.
Yeah.
I thought you said it was real frigid, which
it is
probably that as well.
Frigid. It's frigid and fruit juice.
Very good. Good to see you, sir. And as always, we're joined by the myth, the man, the legend himself, the Godfather, Mark Podolsky, the Land Geek, is here.
Good evening, fellas. I am drinking a very fancy concoction of lemonade element.
Ooh.
Stay salty, my friends. Stay salty.
Stay salty.
I've been getting my kids on salt water a little bit, so I made my own elementi. It was very exciting. But
Nice.
yeah, so my kids they're not that into it right now.
I prefer my salt via potato chips. That's just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get your electrolytes. One potato chip
works,
at a time.
Absolutely.
Thanks everybody
How about
for tuning
the comments, by the way?
Yes.
I feel like we should just start the pod with a big group hug for Don Thrasher. Is that wrong? If that's wrong, I don't want to be right. Bring it in. Don Thrasher. Kathy,
And if you're not a
Houseworth's here.
hugger yet, you will be when you meet Mark. It just happens. There aren't many people that turn down Mark Podolsky's hugs.
Well, there was that one boot camp. Remember, Mark, where you started like at the end of the camp, you started hugging one and hugging the next one. You reached a critical point where you had to hug everybody.
I had to hug everybody. It was. I mean, there's awkward, and then there's what happened there.
That was memorable. There was a certain point you hit. There's no going back.
There's no going back. There's no going back.
Man.
Oh,
Well, thanks everybody for the energy in the chat. It's fun to see all of you making comments before we even get on the air. So, but we should probably get down to it. So tonight we're talking mistakes. We're talking mistakes in land investing as you're first starting out in the business. There are bad things we want to avoid, right? So maybe not bad things, because really there are not really there are not terrible things that happen in this business, even if you do make a mistake, because we all make mistakes. But I hate to put Mike on the spot, but I think I'm going to. But Mike, if you're just starting out in this business and you've decided to take action,
yes.
What's a common mistake that people make in the beginning that maybe stops them straight in their tracks? Like they make a mistake, they don't get any traction, and they're done. They just decide they're done.
I think, you ready for this? I think the biggest mistake you can make in the beginning is worrying about making a mistake. Because the reality here is that we follow such a margin of safety. If you just do nothing other than follow the numbers, it's mathematical how we look at these properties, then you'll never put yourself in a situation where you will buy something that, that you won't be able to sell or because we buy everything with instant equity. So I think that the fear, but that's okay, put that aside. But the fear of making a mistake is your biggest mistake because we're all going to make mistakes. I think we fail forward. Mark used to tell me, create a new problem and solve it. That was the mantra I had, and I love that. I tell people all the time, over and over again, new problem, good problem. That's what Mark would say. New problem, good problem, because that's how we move forward in this business. So I think the biggest mistake you could make is worrying so much about making a mistake that you do nothing.
I love it. I love it. And you're very right. And also just the thought of making a mistake prevents people from taking action.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just thinking that this isn't going to work. Right. There's no way this is going to work out.
Yeah.
This sounds goofy. I'm not going to do this. Right.
Yeah.
That's a mistake right there in itself is letting your anxiety prevent you from taking imperfect action. And for a lot of people, it's difficult to take imperfect action.
Right.
You're doing something that's completely outside of your comfort zone. So I love that. What about you, John Burnett? If somebody's just getting started in the land business, what is a major mistake that sometimes people make that pulls them off the track?
Yeah, man, I feel like Mike's answer was so good that
Right.
it's just going to be lame in comparison. But I will say, so my answer, I think that Mike's answer is more important than mine. It was actually the thing that impacted me the most because I just tended towards worrying and got that pit in my gut each time I came to the new stat. But, you got to learn by doing. And you start by doing imperfectly. And then as you go, you pick it up, you get better and better and better. And so I think that's really, really important. What I was going to say was, I think people have a big temptation to work in their backyard. And depending on your backyard, that could be a big mistake, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's important to work in a county that's going to work really well with the model. And you don't have to be afraid. I mean, I live in Idaho. I do deals and I've done deals in over a dozen states, right? And I've done deals as far away as Florida, which is literally as far away as you can possibly be from Idaho in the United States, right? So don't be afraid. To branch outside of your backyard and do deals where the numbers make sense. So,
wow, I love that. I never work in my backyard because Laura hasn't had a W-2 in 10 years and she does all the yard work. So I'm never in the backyard or the front yard or the side yard.
Oh man, I love it. I'm trying to be fancy over here. We go.
You got a running banner now, Scott. Nice job.
We got a running banner for the community.
That's
Throw in the
awesome.
chat. Type in the word county. Oh, that's not what it's supposed to say. But type county if this is the part you overthink most, right? Or do us another solid. Type whatever word is the thing that you're struggling with, right?
Or just any word.
Any word. What is it that you overthink most in the land business? And we are here to help tonight. I'm going to fix that typo I made. But Mark Podolsky, I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
one of the biggest mistakes.
I love the comment Matthew Bright just made. First time joining live. I love the podcast. Big shout out to John for setting me up with the starter kit today.
Thank you, Matthew. I told him I'd be Venmoing him $20 after the show. So
I love it. Okay, so I love what you guys have said as far as like big newbie mistakes. And I'm going to tell a quick story. Is that cool?
Yes.
So I'm not sure if he's the winningest coach of all time in college athletics, but he might be. And Mike and I aren't huge sports guys, but I know the story about John Wooden. Mike, have you heard of a coach named John Wooden?
I have not.
Okay, so he was the coach at UCLA, and I want to say they won like 12 championships in a row.
Wow.
Like something crazy.
Yeah.
And you've heard of a guy named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Skyhook, I know that.
Skyhook. Okay, so Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, before he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was Lou Alcindor, and he went to UCLA and played for John Wooden. And John Wooden was famous for starting practice the same way every practice. And these are top recruits in the country. So you come in and you think you're going to go and you're going to learn some kind of fancy play, right?
Yeah.
In college basketball. You know what Coach Wooden does with these guys?
No.
Guys, here's how you tie your shoes and put on your socks properly. So here's how you put on your socks, and here's how you tie your shoes. So he started with the fundamentals.
Wow.
The simplest fundamentals. And then from there, he built championship teams. And so I think oftentimes a big mistake I see newbies making is they go and they start really trying to go past the fundamentals of what we do is simply mailing and marketing. Don't get fancy in the beginning. You don't need to have a fancy website, and you don't need to hire a bunch of VAs, and you don't need a bunch of tools, and you don't need Claude Opus 4.5 and ChatGPT 5.2 and running certain agents. Just get the fundamentals down. And then from there, build upon that. So I think because we're adults and we have all this experience, have beginner's mind, as Mike would say, being the Zen master, and start as a beginner, have no expectations of yourself. A big win, Matthew Bright, is betting on yourself and just starting and going through that first module and just following that recipe and doing each step at a time and thinking, okay, today I'm going to learn how to tie my shoes.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I'm going to learn how to bounce the ball and just go through the fundamentals one step at a time. That's my new answer.
Mark, you know what I love about that is I feel like, the times I get overwhelmed, when I go back to the basics, it's so deep in those, it brings me a sense of calm. So if you're not thinking too far, like you are thinking about just the fundamentals and doing them well, you can go deep into that, and it can bring you a sense of calm, I believe, and focus.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much FOMO out there. I need to learn this. I need to do that. I need to hire this person. I need to get this tool. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You just need to get a list.
Yeah.
Price the list.
Yep.
Mail the list. That's it. Start there.
Yeah, it's like information overload. We just had the webinar, and we were talking about, I don't know if you were on at that point, but we were saying that, like, I tell people all the time, I mean, you can go on YouTube and you can find 5 experts who'll tell you 5 different ways to do the same thing. It's overwhelmed. We get overwhelmed with information, right? So we need to follow a proven path and stick to it with people, and that's why I say what I love about what you've been doing. Was it 25 years more now? I mean, how many?
25 years.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. You're still doing the same thing. You haven't changed.
We just closed on a deal. We bought 135 lots yesterday. I love this business.
Yeah. Same model, same niche.
Same thing.
That's crazy. I see people out there, they teach this today, that tomorrow, the next thing the next day. They want to educate, they want to teach. That's nice. But I love the fact that, we've been doing this a long time with the 3 of us, but you've been doing it so much longer. And the fact that you're still doing it, I think speaks volumes, still actively today.
If I could find something better, I would. I think we have don't tell anybody. It's the best thing out there.
And the reality is a lot of people don't know. People think when they come here, how many people sat? We had 250 people we have our annual conference across the country. How small of a niche is that? The 250 people. I mean, it's a good amount of people, but for everybody across the United States or even the country could come to this. We had 250. It's such a small niche.
It's such a small niche. It's such a boring niche. Like if you're single, you're not picking up anybody at the bar telling them I'm a land investor. Right? You're
What do
just
you
not.
do? I buy raw land.
I buy raw land. Do you improve it? Nope.
Nope. You subdivide it?
Uh,
Do
Nope.
you entitle it? Nope.
Nope. I make a cash flow though, like a rental home.
Yeah.
I have a story along those lines. I was not trying to pick up anybody at the bar, but I was being social at the bar on New Year's Eve, and I spoke to this gentleman. He had to been in his probably in his 80s, and he's a very successful real estate investor. And he asked me what I did, and I said I buy and sell land. And he's like, "You're the first person that's ever told me that in my life." And we had a nice conversation about it. He's in his 80s. All he's ever done is homes, right? Homes, multifamily, flips, whatever. And I'm the first land investor he's ever met. That's crazy. But we started talking about it. He's like, you know what? You're onto something that's really smart. And you know, he might be a partner with some funds later on, right?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's a nice connection to make at the bar. But it just goes to show you how rare this is. It's
I said
fun.
he said you were the most handsome land investor he's ever met too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Until he meets John.
Yeah.
Then it's all bets off.
Yeah,
I did get a
exactly.
haircut today. Here, while we're on the topic, we were talking counties. Let's answer a question here. I think it's Nan. Maybe it's Nan.
No, Nan was just
Nan
on the
is-
webinar. Let's go.
Nan was on the webinar.
Yeah.
Okay,
I heard that
nice.
name.
So, Mike Zano,
Yes.
how do you pick? Mark's got this great secret county list, right? Don't tell anybody. How do you pick from the crazy long county list, and how do you decide what to offer, Mike?
Yeah. First of all, very valuable. If you can find out where these deals are being done, that is step one. Like literally, that is step one. So, Mark, that's pretty cool that you allow people to have that list. Number two, I would say it depends on how much capital. Nan, is that how much capital you have? You look at that list. You start to do some research. Go to land sites, look at the counties on that list, and see what the properties are selling for. You divide that by 4. Do you have that much capital available? Can you buy one of those properties? More, could you buy maybe 2 or 3? If not, maybe look for another one where you can buy. So I think a lot of it, once you know the area, you got to start dialing into your price point based on your budget. So I think that's probably the next clue that I would give you. And this is, I always say it, you're an investigative reporter. There are land deals being done out there every day by the 4 of us and by many other people. You need to find out where, how much we buy them for, and how we sell them. Like that's what you have to find out. So, but take it in a step-by-step progression. Number 1, where is it happening? But number 2, which one are you going to focus in on? So that's going to come down to your budget. So I'd start looking in that manner.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Hopefully that was helpful, Nan. Let me see what other questions or comments we have here. A comment from BMK Property Solutions. Everybody always looks at them with googly eyes when they tell them. We're all still getting the googly eyes too. I always tell everybody, my mom still gives me googly eyes 10 years later. She's still nervous that I quit my job 5 years ago. It's just how it is. Very good. Very good. Well, let's talk some other mistakes. What are some other mistakes that people might make in the beginning of their journey? And John, if you have one at the top of your head, feel free, but I do have one as well.
Okay. I guess one that comes to mind is like I remember when we were starting land investing, Scott Todd, he would always talk about gotta have landitis, right? Like this, like you're so excited, you're so pumped, and you're like, I'm going to buy land. I'm going to buy all the land. I want it all now. And you can kind of make, you want to make sure that you're buying within the model, right? You're buying 25, 35 cents on the dollar. But the other thing I think that if you, like some people get really excited, I'm going to buy all the land, and they buy like 10 properties all in one subdivision, right? That are kind of the same one to another, right? And that works if you want to wholesale some of those off. But really, when you think about having 10 properties all in the same subdivision with similar features, it's like going into the mill or going into the grocery store, and the grocery store has 10 gallons of Dairy Gold milk, right? It's great that they have a backlog, but it's a single product. And so if you buy too much of the same product, it could take a while to clear it out. And so I think it's good to have a little bit of backlog, but to focus on diversity and not spend all of your money on just one product type.
Awesome. That's great advice. I think that, a lot of us, when we get into that gotta have landitis stage too, John, right? Like we're so badly looking for a win. The first property that comes across our desk is the one we're going to buy. We have a tendency to overpay as well sometimes, right? We want that first property. So that's a mistake that a lot of people make as well, like you had mentioned.
Now we know what kind of milk he drinks.
Right?
Yeah. Only whole. That's great.
Very good. Well, I thought of a mistake that I've actually come across here a few times recently. Mike, you and John and I we're fortunate to have a lot of calls with people who are interested in starting the business and contemplating whether or not they want to do this. I've spoken to a number of people lately who I think a mistake that can be made sometimes is waiting for the right time, right? I don't know if you guys hear this, but I hear people who they've been thinking about this for a year, or they've been thinking about it for a couple of years, and they've actually learned a lot, and they've watched a lot of podcasts, and they're really familiar with the model, and they know this model is right for them, and they're spending all of this time like getting ready, but they never take the productive action, right? So I think that's another thing I would encourage everybody to think about is if you've been in that information gathering mode for a really long time, you can get stuck there, right? You can get an analysis paralysis. You can learn about every single land investing model out there, and there are different ones. Like ours is different because we focus on the micro deal kind of, right? But then there's macro deals, and there's entitlements, and there's this, that, and the other thing. You can get stuck. You can get stuck there, and you can get stuck there for months and months and months, right?
Yeah.
So I just encourage people to think, okay, there's this line, right? And the information gathering phase is on this side of the line, right? The action occurs on the other side of the line, and to cross the line, you have to make a decision. What is my decision going to be? Am I going to start doing this, right? And you need to commit to yourself. And it's scary because you got to commit to yourself before the results are there, right? But that's how everything is. So for everybody on the call, this is a great motivational video for me. I've recommended it for a long time. Look up Steve Harvey on YouTube and just type in jump. Steve Harvey, after every Family Feud episode, he does like this little epilogue, and he's a pastor, I think. So he gets out in front of the crowd and he does like this little mini sermon, and he talks about jumping. He talks about like crossing the line and jumping. Even though you're fearful, even though you don't know what's coming, you need to make that you need to make that decision. You need to take that action in order to get on the path to success.
That's so ironic because I was going to go with, I feel like we're playing Family Feud here. And like, okay, I'm going to go with asking for people who don't know the business for advice about the business, if you should do it or not, and see what's on the board. Ding! Because I think a lot of people do that, right? Isn't that true? They're like, I know I'm thinking about doing this, but then they go and ask people that, and this niche is so tight and so unique that, can you imagine just asking I think about investing in raw land. I'm going to sell it for people going to be like, that sounds crazy. You shouldn't do that, Bob. Like, okay, I won't do that. That sounds great. But no, go to people that are actually doing it. Like, what I love about what we have is a community of people that are doing the same thing. In fact, when people work with us, one of the benefits is they can come 4 nights a week. They can immerse themselves in a mastermind environment where people are all surrounded by people with the same goals to build a successful business with time freedom. There's only a few of us that work with Mark, and we've all successfully retired ourselves, our spouses. This is the environment you want to be in. This is the group you want to surround yourself with. It's so true. And people often say, Mike, you have all this land you're doing. Why are you doing all this stuff with Mark? It's like, you kidding me? This is how I stay close to my mastermind. These are the people that help me go from glass ceiling to glass. I'm like, oh, I think I've done it. And then I hear what they're doing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy where I am, but I'm so humbled by the people in front of me. So you got to have that group of people that can help you elevate. So don't go out to the normal folk that you usually hang around with in your circle. Nothing wrong with them. Sure, they're beautiful people, but they're not looking to build something like you are. Go to the people that have already built it or are attempting to build it and circle around them so you can start to grow.
That's great.
I love
I
that.
concur.
I concur.
Ooh, the first concur.
I mean,
we've had some
we were-
concurs in the comments too.
I don't know. I have a cacao drink on its way. I'll have to wait for that. I was bringing down my nightly cacao.
You know, there's this old cliche by Jim Rohn, or old saying. I'm just curious, like, do you guys still think this is applicable today?
Yeah.
You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most.
Yeah.
I do. And I think that for some people that part's hard too. It's like you've got to transform everything.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna start hanging out with the 4 of us, well, you're gonna transform. We're gonna make you think bigger. We're gonna have you do things outside your comfort zone. And we're not watching Netflix. We're not watching sports. We're going out and we're doing deals. We're deal junkies. And
Yeah.
you'll just see the world very differently in this community. But you will leave something in some people behind that are threatened by your growth. And it can be uncomfortable.
That's so true. And it's nice about the current world we live in that, because if there was no internet like this and that, how would I find another land investor? Like literally, like the fact that we can connect this way is what has really made the opportunity even more real for many people, right? Because now we can, and part of your mastermind could literally just not trying to pat us all on the shoulder, but we've all done. I mean, Mark's done, I don't know, probably close to 10,000 deals now. We've all done collectively thousands of deals. You come here on Tuesday nights, just hang out, use this as a place to rejuvenate, to reinvigorate yourself, to get excited, to get motivated, ask questions, like surround yourself with these types of things that can really help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I've got a mistake, by the way, unless John has one.
No, you do your mistake.
I've got one that's like an oldie but a goodie.
All right.
Okay.
You know what it is? I'm going to buy this property, and then I'm going to stop mailing, and I'm going to stop buying until I sell this property. The one in, one out.
Oh,
And next thing you know is you sold the property and you've stopped your deal flow. Because if you're doing the mailing, it can take 6 to 8 weeks to get that next deal. So never stop your deal flow. That's
huge.
a big mistake. You don't want to be a chicken company with no chicken. Wasn't that KFC in like London a few years ago? They ran out of chicken.
Really? They ran out of chicken? This become a very expensive soda machine?
yeah, exactly.
Mashed potatoes only. I mean,
Yeah.
I did a potato diet once, Mark, back in the day. I don't know why. I read somewhere back in the early 90s, late 90s. I only ate potatoes. I don't know why.
No, you didn't do that.
It's like the carnivore diet, just potatoes.
Yeah, that's all I ate, and it was like what was a starch diet, maybe. I don't know what it was called, but there's a diet out there. Just search YouTube, you find it.
What diet are you on now, Mike?
Were you allowed
What
to
diet
put
are you
things
on?
on the potatoes, or was it just like you're just like boiling and eating?
I was eating all kinds of potatoes, boiled, mashed, everything. I'm not on a diet right now. I realized something. I had an epiphany, and I don't know if you guys would agree with this epiphany. I know that I think what happens is people need to sort of do something to get out of their comfort zones, right? But what I need to do is be consistent in the things that bring success, and I know that I am being consistent. So I'm not looking to do anything radical to change it up. I'm just looking to be more consistent. So I just like I'm not giving up this, not giving up that. I'm just going to continue to be consistent. I'm going to continue to go step by step. So I really don't have a diet right now. I just sort of moderate. Moderate? Is that the word?
Moderate. I'm actually doing a caloric deficit now with ChatGPT. I created a custom GPT, so I'm like, okay, I want this much protein and this many calories,
Okay.
and so I just log it, and then it's like, I'm like, what's the next meal? And then it'll tell me, okay, I'll tell you it's a lot of non-fat Greek yogurt and shrimp because it's like high in protein but low calorie. But yeah, see, I like the seafood diet. Seafood and eat it.
So how many calories do you eat a day?
1,900 and 170 grams of protein.
What? Whoa! Now that's impressive. Now, so it tells you, "Hey, Mark, go have a yogurt."
Yeah. It'll say, okay, based on where you're at, like let's say that I eat, some eggs in the morning, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that was like egg whites are really good, and vegetables are really good. They're like, okay, for lunch, you should do like ahi, like a poke bowl, like these, like all these low calorie, high protein types of food, lean chicken. But I'm like, hey, I want to have a steak tonight. Like, okay, if you're gonna have a steak, no problem. But like, you're going easy up until this point. Like, so kind of like you can budget. I know Catherine Hollingsworth is like, you're a lot of fun, Mark. Like, I know.
We're being steered back to the topic by Jason Holland. I appreciate that, Jason. We do digress. We digress. We do.
We should be called the digress.
I know.
But we have fun, don't we? I mean, it's very low key, very informal,
But I think Jason's got a good question though.
All right, let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. How do we select the best counties to focus on?
It's a great
John
question.
Burnett.
Ooh, me. So the things that you're looking for, one thing is repeatability, right? So one of the things that we focus on this model is we want area, like we focus largely on large rural subdivisions. When you focus on a large rural subdivision, you might have thousands of properties that are very similar to one another. And what that means is that when you market to acquire these properties, you can actually send an offer letter because you have comps that are actually comparable. You can have a pretty good gauge of what the retail value of that property is. And then you can back calculate what you want to offer to get the margins that you want. So repeatability is really key. So I'm looking for areas that have rural subdivisions, and I'm generally looking for areas where ideally, I talk about there are three things that I typically want, right? So one of those is access, right? I want there to be legal access and actual physical access to the property, a dirt road or something like that. I want there to be ideally some recreational potential on the property. It's not critical, but it's nice to have because that's a great selling point if somebody can camp on the property. And then the third piece is the ability to build, right? So if somebody can build, off-grid is fine. If they can recreate and if it has access, that's a really sellable product for me. And then the other part is, so that's kind of what I look for. And then the big thing that I probably should have mentioned first is you want to go where you're seeing other people seeing success, right? So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't go to an area where you don't see anybody selling anything, or you want to go to an area where other people are actually doing deals. We talk about how, like, if you go to the lake and you're going fishing, you want to go to where the fish are biting. You don't want to just cast just anywhere, right? So
I love that, John. So you told us what the great steps are to find a good area. And what I would say is that sometimes we see people make mistakes when they don't laser focus in on an area, and maybe they mail too many different areas within that county all at once, right? So your approach is much better because we're isolating a spot that's hot, right? And we're picking a subdivision that has all these platted out land parcels. And it's easier to find data for those small areas within a really large county. It's easier to mail to that area, knowing what you need to offer for a property in that small area rather than going all over the place within that county. So that would be something that I would just say to Jason that we see sometimes people making mistakes with mailing and trying to acquire property. They're kind of all over the county, so I would really laser focus in on an area like John described, where you can find the data, where it has great access and some really good usability, and you're going to have more success there with deal flow, I think. Awesome. Catherine earlier did say, where did her mistake go? She was talking about due diligence. And I think we should talk about that for a minute, because every once in a while we do make mistakes with our due diligence, or people make mistakes with their due diligence. So, Mike, talk a little bit about that, and what mistakes do you see, or what do we want to make sure that people avoid when they're purchasing a property with their good due diligence?
You know, first of all, I mean, I think the due diligence typically does start at the very beginning when you're choosing an area to mail, since we tend to mail areas that are a cluster of properties that are the same size, shape, and use. So when you analyze that area, you're already uncovering some basic fundamentals. You're probably going there because you know that there's access to most properties there. There's good use to the properties there. Taxes are low and annual taxes. So all the things that make a good. So then when someone comes across and you have a property to buy, well, you want to double check, is there any back taxes owed on this property? And if so, how much? That's really important. And then, you know, basically after that, you really want to make sure you're talking to the person that actually owns the property. Many a time, if you're in this business long enough, you can hear all the time, oh, yeah, my uncle passed. I've been paying the taxes. I'd like to sell it to you. That's great. County thanks you. They appreciate the taxes you're paying, but you probably don't have the ability to sell it to us, right? So we want to make sure that we're talking to the actual person that can convey title. So that's probably the two biggest ones right out of the gate. Now, if you do want to double check that there's access to the property, and then double check what you checked initially, that there's use for those properties. But I would say, you know, are you talking to the person that you know, owns the property, and what do the taxes look like? I don't typically go too deep into all the due diligence until I have like an accepted offer. If you just have a discussions, do a price first, because nothing worse than I have people when they talk about, hey, I got this big deal, all these properties, and they're doing all this work. I'm like, did you come to any sort of agreement on a price yet? Because if you didn't, you're doing a lot of wasted work. Get to a number, agree upon that number, do your research, and if you have to adjust it, you can come back with facts. Oh, listen, I really wish I could buy it at that price, but you know, I just found out X, Y, and Z. Or maybe you got a good deal, but don't do too much work until you actually uncover if you've got a valid seller on the line that actually will sell to you at the price that you're asking.
That's a great point, Mike. I think that's a big mistake newbies make as well, is they start doing due diligence on the list. They don't have a deal yet, but they want to start doing due diligence on the actual list. It's a lot of wasted time.
That's what's you know, I think what's great about a model with the fact that we use the blind offer rather than neutral letter. Like we're dialing right in. We have a specific range we need to be in, and then if someone agrees to that, okay, now we'll go deep and we'll see if we can find anything. You know, we're really looking to find if there's anything wrong. Like we're searching, like there's got to be something wrong here. Find nothing wrong, great, we can move forward.
Yeah, I love that. We don't want to be in the appraisal business.
No, and that's what many people do when they do the opposite of your method, Mark, with a neutral letter. You know, we were saying that in the last webinar. Like I'll be like, yeah, Mark, how much you like to give me? I have no intention of selling, but I'd love to know what my property's worth. You should just become a free valuation guy, right? It's not a way you want to spend your time.
Exactly. You know, John's got 12 kids. He doesn't have time.
And no time.
No time.
Great advice from all. Great advice. Comment from Charles Jones. Is his dry January just turned into mostly dry January? I mean, well, I'm glad you did it with us, Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, moderation.
You had to do it with anybody.
At least it's mostly dry.
Cheers.
We'll be, you know, that's optimistic thinking for sure.
You're only going to have a drink on Tuesday night during the nightcap. That's it. Keep yourself safe.
Mostly dry January. Love it. We have some other questions coming in. Let's talk maybe one more mistake. I'd like to say one because I think this is a huge mistake that a lot of people make. and that is not picking up the telephone for potential to call potential sellers, but also to call buyers. I think there's kind of this, especially nowadays, there's this barrier to talking on the phone. And I think it's whether it's because we've just gotten out of the habit of talking on the phone. Like my kids don't want to talk on the phone, right? People don't want to talk on the phone anymore. They want to do everything, centered around text messages and emails and whatnot. But I really do believe that property acquisitions occur on the phone and sales occur on the phone a majority of the time. So if you have that barrier, try to get over that because you're going to do a lot more deals. And you never know what you're going to discover on a phone conversation with some of these people because they may divulge something to you on the phone that they don't divulge over text or email. Like maybe they own a lot more property. And because of the relationship that you establish with that person on the phone, they get to know you, like you, trust you. They're going to be more apt to sell you more land, right? Or they're going to be more apt to buy more land from you when you develop a good relationship with people. So I'd say that that's a mistake I commonly see that I would recommend everybody try to focus on the acquisition side and the sales side when you're first becoming a new land investor.
Really good.
Absolutely.
And I think to add to that, don't be afraid to get on the phone. Some people feel like,
Right.
what am I going to just be yourself? That's all you have to be is just be yourself. And if you're new to the business, embrace it. Hey, just guess what? I'm excited. You're the first property that I'm buying. And so we're going to go through this and I might make mistakes, but I promise I'll keep you in good communication and I'll promise I'll follow through whatever I say. And I hope that once this goes well, if somebody else ever has questions, I can maybe refer them back to you and you could tell them what a great job I did, right? Like, just be yourself. You don't have to be anything other than who you are.
I
Love it. Be yourself. You don't have to be anything other than who you are.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
gonna
thinking,
put that
what's that song?
behind me.
As you are. Who sings that song? Come
Yeah,
as you
that's Nirvana.
are. Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
when I said that.
Yeah. Come as you are, Mike.
What year?
At a coaching live a while ago, we did a circle just around sales, and somebody asked me for advice, and the advice I gave was don't try to not be yourself. So it was a great double negative.
Well, that's a true statement, though. That's the way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, we joke, but it is true. I mean, no one's going to out competing you on being you. So and so often people want to emulate, Mike. Like I even tried the Boston accent; it doesn't work. You have to be,
Where were we, Mark, when you did the? We were somewhere, and you did a live call. You did it. I don't know where that was, but at some point,
that was boot camp.
You took a live call, right?
I took a live call in front of the group. And was I buying land or selling land?
I don't remember.
But it was crazy because it was a live call. No one knew it was going to happen.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, you nailed it.
Hey, Mark, remember that time you were Mike Zano for Halloween?
That was awesome too.
Oh man, we should all be Mike Zano. One night we'll just surprise him. We'll all be Mike Zano for the night.
Yeah. Exactly.
We won't tell him when, but it may happen.
Oh, by the way, I've got another mistake. If you guys care,
please.
Yeah. Or John, do you have one? I feel like I'm talking too much.
No, you go. I'll do my mistake later.
No, you go. You go.
Oh well, so my thought was just, I guess it's just the same thing, like consistency. Like having one thing that was really helpful for me was like having a schedule for doing this, right? So if you think about it, if your goal was to get in shape and have a regular habit of going to the gym, and somebody was like, when do you go to the gym? And you just said, I don't know, whenever, right? Like the likelihood of you actually seeing success is not very good. But if you said, yeah, every morning I wake up at 5 o'clock and I go to the gym, or after work, I go to the gym at this particular time. Like for Valerie and I, when we jumped into this, we had a specific schedule that we operated on. and it was great. Like we did well within that schedule. Outside of that schedule, we didn't feel guilty about not doing land. We had that time effectively blocked, and I think that was really helpful for us to build and grow.
Yeah, that's way better than mine. I'm glad you took it. It's way better.
That's not a mistake. That's success.
Well, don't not do that, I guess.
Is that a double negative? Don't not budget time.
Yeah.
Dude, buddy, I think a big mistake's a land snob.
Mm.
And when I say that, it's that you don't like the land.
Yep.
It's priced right, but for whatever reason, you don't like it. And you're like, well, if I don't like it, someone else is going to like it. And that's being a land snob. Like, I don't eat McDonald's, but 1 billion people love them.
Yeah.
I'd buy a McDonald's franchise. Absolutely.
You know, Mark, I've even been I've been a land slob. I've been a land snob. I've been a land snob after I acquired a property. Do you guys ever get those properties that are kind of like add-ons? Like, like you're basically buying one, getting one free almost from somebody because they've got a great property in one area, but they have this other one over here that they just want to get rid of.
Oh, we had a name. What was the name?
I can't remember.
We had a name for that. It wasn't the $1 Skittle. That was with the back.
I can't remember, but you acquire this property and you're like, yeah, I'm just not really excited about that property. I'm just going to let it sit in my inventory for a year because I don't think it's going to sell or whatever. And then you finally get around to marketing it and it sells in a week. Like, you can be a land snob that way too. So like it's just kind of interesting how these things they keep popping up here and there and everywhere. And it really just comes down to, if you have a property in your inventory, they all sell, market the thing, right? People love owning land and somebody's going to buy it. Somebody's going to buy it, whether or not you think it's going to sell or not. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
land slob.
A land
Don't be a land slob.
Don't be a land slob and don't be a land snob.
Like we've all bought property from land slobs too.
Yeah.
We have. Yes, we have.
Right.
Is this Don? I don't know if this is Don or not.
Don Thrasher?
Yeah. Is that
I don't
Don?
think it's Don. Don's
on too.
I don't know. I just haven't seen his name pop up. Oh, no, that's not Don. Never mind. I always forget who BMK Property Solutions is. And now I feel bad because I forget every episode. And he tells me every episode. And then I forget again. But I'm 50 now, right? My brain's not as good. Oh, it's Brad. Brad. One of many Brads that we have. Brad says that listening to us has made him stop being a land snob. So that's what we want. That's for everyone.
I heard somebody say once, like, that there were certain properties and they had their make me buy this offer. And I think that that's like a great mentality, right? Like, I was talking to my acquisitions manager and he was like, I don't even know if we want this. And I'm like, I definitely want it at the right price. Like, there are very few things, as long as it's got clear title, right, that I will not buy because somebody will get it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we're coming up with we got 5 minutes left. Brenda, we do see your questions. We're just getting a lot of questions. So I guess what are the 3 biggest mistakes? Well, if you go back and watch, we actually talked about probably 5 or 6 mistakes in the land business. Some centered around county research, due diligence, being a land snob, being too much in your head, not taking action, right? So go back and take a listen. Hopefully it'll be helpful for you.
But she does have loaner, trying to do this on your own.
Ooh, a land loaner. That's
land loaner.
That's
ooh.
That's
a
tough thing.
LOANER, and I was like, I'm a land loaner. But
You know what's hard about the land. You know what's hard about the land loaner thing is, like, even if you do bootstrap this and you do a deal, like, do you know if it's not just luck? Right? Like, if you just push through and you get a deal done and you get a deal and it happens, like, was it just lucky or was it true? Versus, I think if you have someone that you're relying on to help teach you how to do this, you just have their experience to help guide you to know that, yes, you did everything right and every step you took in this process was right and the money you made was great and it's a true legit land deal.
I think to that point too, like one of the things that I did early on, because we talked about, like Mike talked about, I think Mike gave the best advice out of all the advice, which
Wow.
was
hurtful.
Yes.
Right, but you don't want to be too much in your head, right? Like, you got to do something, and I am definitely the type of person that can be in my head too much. And so, also, can we all just acknowledge that Mark Podolsky has the loudest water bottle in the history of all water bottles?
I did a podcast this afternoon, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've ruined it. I hope they have good editing. I apologize. It's like I'm putting the water bottle right on the mic. I apologize. I'm gonna dehydrate.
You gotta put it on your right side.
Can you hear it now?
But anyways,
yeah, yes.
I'm trying to track my. Oh yeah, so like one of the things I did is I just I asked all of the questions. Anytime that there was doubt, anytime there was worry, right? Then I would always just escalate it to somebody who is active and successful, right? And so I lean like really heavily on my coaches. And it was great. And as I did that, I gained a lot of confidence in what I was doing. And I stopped asking the same questions over and over again. I asked new questions. And then I learned and I grew. So I think it's important to, to stand on other people's shoulders.
Oh, I love that. That's probably a really great way to end the episode.
Well, I think Mike should end it since he's had the best answer. Not that we're competing for the best answer.
I mean, the best advice.
The best advice.
I already gave it. So I don't know. I think that was stand on the shoulders
of giants, of
Take
Mike
back
Zano.
your way to success.
Stand on the shoulder of Mike Zano. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
He'll carry you.
But how great though.
I'm going to physical therapy now. It's great.
Yeah, but all joking aside, like for free, you can come on Nightcap and get validation in the community and just with us, and ask.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, you have a free resource. We'll answer any questions you have. Come on and check it out. Make it part of your accountability routine.
Let's do 2 more nuts and bolts questions for people because I feel bad we didn't answer Brenda's question. So I'm going to answer a question quick. So Brenda, your question was, how do you determine the amount to offer? So there's a process, but basically what we do is we find an area that we want to mail, and we'll do a market analysis to determine what is land selling for in that area. And depending on the area, we divide. So let's say a 1 acre parcel in that area is selling for $10,000. All we do is divide by 4 or divide by 3, kind of depending on the area. And that's our offer. $2,500, $3,300 going out to that area. And we kind of know if we're in the right area with our pricing, if we get a 3 to 5% response rate and, maybe 0.5 to 1% purchase rate. So that's a quick answer on that one. And then let's give Jason Holland a little help real quick, Mike, with his mailings, and then we'll call it a night. Ready? Jason sent out 500 letters so far. He has 1 deal out of it. Is that a normal response rate? And how do you increase your response rate?
Well, the reality is not every mailer knocks out of the park. Consistent mailing does, but there's some variables we don't know to really answer this. How long has he been sending those letters out? If I have 1 deal out of it, did he send them all to one area? What did his pricing look like? But what happens though is this is where the market starts to talk to you. So you say, okay, 500 letters, 1 deal. Well, perhaps you need to adjust your offer price at this point. You haven't dialed into that market yet. So it's like you're calibrating. Ooh, is that the word? That sounds like a nice word. you're
That was a big word.
calibrating your mailing, right? And it's like you're like click, 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 and you're trying to get it right. And it's like you go too far in one direction, you get way too many accepted offers, and that's a problem because you're overpaying. You go too far in the other direction, you're getting one deal or no deals, right? You can kind of like click it in the right way. So start to change your offer price up a little bit. That's assuming you're in one area and you mailed everybody the same offer. But this is literally the market talking to you. So how do you increase your response rate? You listen to what the market's telling you and you make your adjustment, but not crazy, incremental.
Is Jason in flight school?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, when Jason, if you're in flight school, you schedule this one-on-one coaching call, and this is where we actually calibrate with you.
Yeah.
And we analyze your market, and we kind of help you maximize that first mailing because we know the market.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's key about week 2 of flight school. When they run into knock the maraca.
Yeah, because
Oh, the maraca.
that's awesome. But it's with a Y, not an I. Why?
Oh man, I just forget it. I was just gonna. No, that's it.
Forget it. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
No, but I was gonna say that week 2 they run into Tate Litchfield, and I tell people if you're ever gonna meet an A player in this game, he may be one of the A players. Like this is the guy you want to meet when you're starting to mail because he's gonna help you dial it in. So that's one of the advantages of flight school.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for a fun
Maraca.
night.
That's the new nickname. I love it. Like that is so good.
Oh, man.
We can all come next week with water bottles.
For those who are new to land investing and you want to learn more, go to thelandgeek.com. Go to thelandgeek.com/training and book a call with us. We'll be happy to talk with you about where you are in your investing journey. Maybe you started, maybe you haven't, and we'd be happy to help steer you on the right path to doing that and avoiding some of these mistakes that we talked about tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Mike, I will always stand on your shoulders.
And I will let you.
Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
That was my favorite part.